Hello, welcome back to the land of Kekiak. My name is Laurel, and I educate my 3 boys using the Robinson curriculum as the base of our homeschool education. Today, I am inviting you to join us for a spelling bootcamp lesson. Previously, I shared this. This is a free resource. I'll link it again for you below in my original video where I walk through it a little bit more. But I thought you guys might like to see how I actually facilitate a spelling bootcamp lesson and all the kind of like components and just kind of what it looks like. So we are on lesson 12 today, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the kids warming up on their phonograms on their own. You're going to see them reviewing their previous spelling flashcards on their own, and then you're going to see me present some new information, see them taking notes, and then see their independent activity. And let's go. Okay, so I just start the lesson, of course, by getting our stuff out. This is just my boot camp notebook, and those are I have 2 piles of the spelling flashcards, one for each kid. I just wrote up the routine for you to see again. Warm up with the phonograms and the spelling rules is where we're starting off. Here is William. He is doing his phonograms. There's Everett. They just say them quietly to themselves, like they spell out the phonogram and then they say the phoneme. So like OU, and then they say ow, you know. And then oh, he's reading spelling flashcard. And while they're doing that, I'm just getting the board ready for the lesson. So lesson 12, we're going over the broad A. It sounds like a short O, right? And a little rule. So they are going to copy the board when they're done their warm-up into their little spelling notebook. I'm just showing you they're just finishing up their warm-up. Here we go. Yeah, broad A says ah. Okay, William, do you remember, what does this symbol mean, the 2 little snake bites?
It means
it's a broad A. Do you remember what it's called? Umlaut. 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 Sounds kind of like a short O, right? Sounds like ah. William and Everett have both copied down the board. And now, William, you are going to read the board to us. Ready? Go ahead.
Broad A may spell A after...
Not broad A. That just says A. A may spell
A after a W or before an I.
That's not an I.
L.
That's an L. Sorry, that's a lowercase L. Maybe I should have made that a capital L. So this is not an I, that's a lowercase L. But just for clarity, now I'm writing it as not. Make it an L. Okay? Okay, make sure you guys can see in your notes, make sure. So this says broad A. Sounds like ah, right? We mark it. What's the name of the mark? The snake bite mark above the A?
Umlaut.
Umlaut. Ding, ding, ding. Extra credit. All right.
Thank you.
And A may spell ah after a W or before an L. So the position of letters within, like the location of it in relationship to other letters in a word, will help us know what sound it's reflecting, what phoneme, right? So that's why this one's telling you that A may spell ah after a W or before an L. You have to remember that's positional, right? Now sometimes there's some words that you just have to know there's more than one way to make that a certain phonogram or phoneme has a certain, we have more than one spelling for certain sounds, right? Like the sound A, remember how we explored that and there was many spelling patterns for A? So sometimes there's no rule, right, that just tells us, and you just have to be familiar with the word, right? Okay, let's just practice with some example words, okay? Can you guys, on your little slates, when you have it, hold it up Can you spell the word water? Water. Ding, 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 you both got it. Okay, can you please mark the vowel? How would we mark the vowel? The diacritic. Good. Everett, can I see yours? Good. And you underlined it. Yeah, you can mark it V for vowel underneath if you wanted to. How many, just for fun, how many syllables is the word water?
2.
2. Good. Water, right? Good. All right, you go ahead and erase. So that one, the A was broad because why in water? In that word. Yes, William?
It was after a W.
Yes, exactly. Does that follow the rule up there?
Yes.
Good. Okay, the next word I have for you to try is talk. Talk. Good. William, when you have it, just hold it up. Did you see Everett's? Yeah. Now, okay, I saw how you had it. You had it T-A-K, right? Talk. But what would that spell? What does T-A-K actually spell?
Tack.
Yeah, tack. So that's not right. So you're like, oh, but if there's an L behind it, then it would say aw, right? Okay, good. Go ahead and erase. How did you guys know that talk ended in a K and not a CK? So just to review a previous word or previous rule, Rule 25 tells us CK is used only after a single short vowel. So in talk, we knew there had to be an L to make that A broad. So it can't be CK, right?
Yeah.
Because why? Because there's an L in between them. It doesn't. You only use CK if it's right after a short vowel, right? Right. And T-A-L-C is actually a word. It actually is the word talc. Just so you know. All right. What about the word wasp? Wasp. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, can you mark your vowel? Everett. Ding, ding, ding. Good job. Okay, 100%. Okay, next word, erase. How about the word tall? Tall. Close. What other rule? There you go. How do you know it's 2 L's?
Because
What rule do we have?
the floss rule.
Floss rule, yeah. Okay, next one is, what about the word shock? Shock. Nope, that's not it. How do you spell the word shock? Yes. It's not, you don't have the umlaut, it's just a breve. So I tricked you, William, I'm sorry. Shock is spelled S-H-O-C-K, right? It's actually just an O this time. That's why I was saying, sometimes you just have to be familiar with words to know, because there's multiple ways to spell the phoneme aw, right? It could be an O, it could be an A before an L, right? So I was just testing you. Just a little surprise. Okay. What about the word also? Also. You're doing too much on that one. Also. Everett, do you know how to spell it? If you have it, then hold it up for me. Also. Good, Everett's got it. So it's A-L for the all, right? And so is just S-O, because it is what kind of syllable at the end, Everett? William, do you know what kind of syllable it is? Also? So also, I'm just going to tell you guys it's spelled. So A-L-S-O. So we've got all, right? Because it's followed by the L is influencing that A. And then it's 2 syllables, all, so. This is a long O because this is an open syllable. Remember, open syllables, the vowel is usually long, right? Is this an open or a closed syllable?
Open?
No, it's closed. Remember, because this is the vowel, right? And there's no syllable closing it off, so that's why it's open. This is the vowel in this syllable, and there's a consonant closing it. So it's a closed syllable. So don't forget, open syllables, vowel is long. Okay, but you got the AL part, right? Okay, what about the word want? Want. Read the word that you just wrote. What did you write? What? What word did I say?
Want.
Want. How many sounds do you hear in the word want? Let's count them.
3.
No, let's count them. Say it out loud.
Want.
You're missing one. Woo. Nt. There's 4 sounds, right? Ding, ding, ding. You got it. You got it, Everett. Good job. What about swan? Swan. Beautiful. You mark your A. Good. And what is making that A say ah? How do we know it says ah? The W. Good. So you can draw a little influencing arrow from the W over to the A. So sometimes we want to give a little influencing arrow just while we're working on stuff. So you know it's that W that's making that A broad, right? Good. Okay guys, good job. I'll go ahead and erase and get out your Splendid Spelling. Okay, Splendid Spelling pages 26 to 27 today. Ask me if you have any questions. It looks like this. So the secret is, if a word begins with WH and is followed by an O, the W is silent. If the first letter is a W and is followed by an A, the A sounds like a short O, or ah, like what we've been talking about, the broad A, right? So they've got some extra words here. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I would like you guys to mark on these word lists. Go ahead and mark the vowels and any influencing arrows that you would need, right? So I'll show you. So if a word begins with WH and is followed by an O, the W is silent. So here's the WH, right? Who. I think ooh looks like that actually. The W is silent because it's followed by the O. So the O is kind of influencing that W. It's silencing it, isn't it? It says shh. Now with this one, we know that after a W, if there's an A, it's broad. So this W is actually influencing this A, okay? So I want you guys to really carefully diagnose your words and mark them to show how they follow the rule, okay? Got it? Show me when you're done. All right. So William, you've marked all of yours. Good, good, good. All right, influencing arrows are going the right way. I think this is a good idea because Splendid Spelling has some extra information in here that we didn't have from our other lessons. Why don't you add that in as a note in your spelling book, right? So we already have the first letter, right? We already have the A and the L making the A broad rule, but if a word begins with WH and is followed by an O, the W is silent. We don't have that. So I will write that on the board if you want me to, so you can copy it as a Splendid Spelling note. Okay? So we have words like who, hose, hole, where they all start with WH followed by an O. That O is silencing that W. So it's, I'm going to do an influencing arrow. So now they say who. All right, this is like who, whose, hole. You don't hear the W at all. You just hear the H, right? So copy that into your notebook too, because that's good information to have. And it's something we learned from Splendid Spelling. So I made a note from Splendid Spelling on the board for the kids to put down in their spelling book. I just made a note to myself in my boot camp notes. So when we go to do this next year, or if we need to do this lesson again, I just add more to the notes as we learn more, or if I come up with examples as we teach that are helpful, I just jot those down for myself so I still have them. And how William's just working on the rest of his independent stuff. Everett did his Splendid Spelling first, and now he's going back to write that note down. And after this, we're going to be done for the day. Good job, guys. So I forgot to mention, I have these 2 packs of what's left that we're still going over in our spelling rule flashcards. This happened to be a day that I started that I thought would be a decent day to film. Just happened to be a day that we weren't going over one of our new cards. Sometimes I am filling in information in my lessons between rules. So yeah, or something I think that we need to know, like how to mark something or how to pronounce something. And so it's not technically one of the spelling like rules. So that's why I didn't give him a card today. But you see that they have, like Everett has. These are the ones he's already gone over. And usually if I'm teaching something out of the cards, then after we do our lesson, they like earn their card and I give it to them. So then goes in their pile that they review at the beginning of every spelling boot lesson. So anyways, that's just why you didn't see me like give them a new card today. But usually if I would. Okay, that's all. So that was it. It's nice and simple, and we just keep moving forward. I'm trying to do 1 spelling boot camp lesson a day during the school week, and then we're just going to jump back into our regular spelling program. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them for me down below, and I will see you next time.